Hey guys, so today we're going to look in depth into how my plan ain't talking about love. First off, my effects settings. That's with no effects. I'm going to be adding a delay, which will do this. So you've got single slap. I'm using a flashback delay by TC Electronics, but you could use any delay, just a simple analog delay. I hit it, I get one more slap on it, and then we're going to add a very slow running flanger. It's kind of a sweeping effect. So as I'm playing this, you can hear it kind of sweeping back and forth. So those two effects are really key. I did get rid of the reverb on the amplifier because we don't really need reverb when we're dealing with the delay. It'll take care of the fattening of it. So, as I mentioned in my first video, you want to make sure and use the heel of your hand really all the way over to that first string to really separate these notes, and then you take it away right at the end for them. So it sounds like this. If I am not doing that, it'll sound like this. Everything just kind of runs together, and with those effects, it will really muddle it up, so you don't want that. So make sure you've got your delay and your flanger on, however you have that built into your amp or on pedals, and any of the brands will do. I'm using TC for both of those. Van Halen uses MXR, same effect. All right, so we're doing the palm muting, and I pretty much covered how to play that first section in the first video, so make sure you reference that. But we're going to go to the next part, which will be strumming the A minor chord. I'm going to take these effects off just so you can hear it a little bit cleaner. So we're doing an A minor chord and then the 5th string open, so it'll be finally a G5 chord. That's going to be, really for the song, you're just going to need to hold the 3rd fret on the 6th string, mute out the 5th string, and then have the 3 middle strings playing there, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. Just reference your tab sheet here. So we've got the... all down strums will work really well on this. Again, you would want to do that with the effect, sound more like this. Alright, so that's the basic part. If you want to get a little bit fancy, there's a riff after the second time you go through that will go like this. Of course, it's Eddie Van Halen, so we're not just going to play it with slides. We're actually going to use the whammy bar. He really likes the whammy bar. But I want to talk about the frets we're going to play first. We're going to play the 1st fret on the 2nd string, sliding to the 3rd fret, and then from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret, and then from the 5th fret to the 8th fret. However, I'm not going to pick all those. I'm going to pick the first one and scoop the whammy bar. What I'm doing there is I'm going to drop it real quick, let it come back up as I'm sliding. So it'll sound like this. Really a cool effect. We're dipping that one, either a half step or a whole step. I have those all listed on the tab sheet. But again, slowly it's... Of course, you do it fast, it sounds really cool. So that comes in, here we go. Now you just have to make sure when you do that, you don't have other notes ringing. If I have other notes ringing, it kind of muddles it up a little bit. So you want to, as you reach over to pick that 2nd string, just silence the other strings. Very cool riff, very Van Halen-like. Then we go back to the... At the very end, we're going to bend the 7th fret on the 3rd string. 2 whammy bar dips. Slide off. So it's... Very cool song. Easy to approach on this one. It's not really hard to do. Getting all those little riffs in there might be a little bit tricky, but remember we have slowdown features, looping functions, so cut this as small as you need it to be and go over it as many times at whatever speed you want to work at. All right, next up we're going to do another great Van Halen song. Stay tuned. Hey guys, glad you're all here with us as members today. I wanted to go over Little Dreamer, Van Halen, great song. Had to change my effect from the last song we did. I did Ain't Talking About Love. Now we're looking at Little Dreamer. A lot of reverb on this one, more reverb than I probably would use in normal playing. It's kind of like I'm playing in a huge hall. But I just dialed the reverb up on the amp. I got no delay on this one, no flanging on this one like in the last song. And basically it's just nice gainy sound with a lot of reverb. So when I smack a chord, you hear a big tail off of it. Really easy to play this one. The groove's a little bit tricky. So again, slow it down, looping features as always, and get the feel for it. But we're starting here, 8th fret and 6th fret on the 5th string and the 6th string. 2 strikes on the 8th fret of the 6th string, and then 6 on the 5, and 8 on the 5. So that little riff is. And then we're going to splash the 8th fret on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. Just hold that with one finger. And then back to the 8th fret on the 6th string. One final strike on the 8 as we slide off to the 3rd fret. Same exact shape down here at the 3rd fret and 1st fret. Back up to the 8. We just go back and forth. So slowly it's. A little bit of palm muting on the 5th string and the 6th string. That's just letting the heel of my hand lay on those strings to get a thumpy sound. If I don't do that, it sounds like this. It would still work, but it doesn't give you that bassiness. So I really like that. Second part's coming up. All right, so part 2 sounds like this. Back to the first part. Really cool riff. Basically straight 8th notes, down strum with a palm mute on the 6th string, starting off the 8th fret. Just at the very end, I do the last 8th strike and hit the 2 8th frets on the center 2 strings, 3rd and 4th string. Let that ring, and then I slide it down, and then down to the 3rd fret, 6th string. 2 middle strings, 3rd fret, sliding it back up, then go to the 6th fret on the 6th string, 2 strikes on the 8th fret on the 4th and 5th strings, just a hook down up, then drop down to the F chord, playing the 1st fret of the 6th string, 3rd fret of the 5th string, and just 2 strikes on the 1st fret of the 6th string, 3rd fret of both the 4th and 5th strings, and then bring it back up. So the whole thing slowly sounds like this. Again, very fun. It's very approachable for a beginner to do this. Works on your rhythms, sliding up and down the fingerboard. Sound just like Van Halen. Just remember, crank the reverb up on this one. Use your looping features, slow down functions, and also make sure you're looking at the tab sheet. I'm Trent. Next up, another killer song. Running with the Devil. Can't say anything more about that. Excellent. One of my favorite songs off the first album. Super easy to play. Doing a lot with one finger. What I'm doing here is I'm actually playing the third fret, the fifth fret of the second, third, and fourth strings, just laying it flat there. That actually gives you the sound of a C chord. And I'm going to just hit that one time and move it up to the seventh fret, exact same three strings. Let it sustain. Then I do a little mute. All I do is lay my fingers on the strings, do not hold anything down, just touch them, and just back and forth. You'll see that noted in the tab sheet. It's just the X's, just a down up on that. Then we're going to hit the 7, 7, 7 again on the second, third, and fourth strings. Then we're going to change that by hammering on my middle finger on the 8th fret of the second string and my ring finger on the 9th fret of the fourth string, like this. So we went. Then we're going to hit the 7s and hammer on. Come up. What I did there is took that shape, the 8, 7, and 9, brought it up 2 frets, so then I'm holding the 10, the 9, and the 11, and then I'm going to let go of the 10 and the 11 and just have my index finger on the 9. So it's great place to set loop points here, slow it down, and go over this section quite a few times. So it's like this, just. Last thing I do, I know in the tab sheet it says slide up to the 19 and back. I don't hear that. As I was rehearsing right before this session, I am actually just playing the 12th fret on the 6th string and sliding off. The actual official book on this said go up to the 19th fret. I don't hear that. I'm just going. You can listen to it, do what you'd like to do. I believe it's an overdub anyway because it's really loud. Hendrix did that on a couple of his songs. But however you want to play it, it's on the 6th string. You can either slide up or you can just go off the 12th fret. So slowly, one more time through this riff. Pretty easy to play, not many fingers involved. Great song. The rhythm's a little bit off, so you want to listen to that really closely. Next up, the next part. All right, let's talk about how to play this. We're going back and forth between an A5 chord, just the middle 2 strings, 2nd fret, 5th string open. Going to hit those 3 strings. Then I'm going to go to the 3rd fret on the 6th string for my G sound. And then you can either go back to just the open 5th string by itself, or you can actually hit the 2nd fret of the 4th string. With that, fattens it up a bit. Sounds like this. So it's either way sounds really good. Then we're going to go open 5th string. We're going to play the 4th fret of the 3rd string and the 5th fret of the 4th string. This is actually a major 3rd sound based on a G chord, so it's going to be. Now Eddie actually turns the volume down on his guitar a little bit to clean this up. What I'm doing there is I'm going to be playing the open 5th string against either the 4th and 5th frets of the 3rd and 4th strings, or the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 4th fret on the 4th string, or the open 3rd string and the 2nd fret of the 4th string. What I'm doing there is I'm playing what's called thirds, major and minor thirds. The first third, the 4 and the 5, are part of a G chord. The second third is a minor 3rd sound coming from an F sharp chord. Again, I'm just playing the 2 middle strings. The third one is an E minor sound, which is the open 3rd string and the 2nd fret of the 4th string. And that goes against the A and the G at the beginning, so it'd be like this. The fancy part. That's not too hard to play. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. All right, so these thirds, again, you might want to rehearse these. Middle finger and ring finger holding the G, the 3rd sound there, 4th and 5th strings. I'm sorry, 4th and 5th frets, 3rd and 4th strings. Then 2 and 4, middle 2 strings, index and ring, and finally just the middle finger and the open 3rd string for the E minor. A lot of people play that wrong. They'll actually play, they go back to the A, but it's not actually an A, it's an E minor there. So. Those are harmonics. I'm going to show you how to do that. If you haven't played a harmonic before, we don't actually fret anything. We just touch the strings at particular locations. The first two are right above the 12th fret. So not where you would normally fret, but right above the fret wire. We're just going to touch the first two strings and pick the second string and the first string. It sounds like bells. You pick your finger up as soon as you're done firing those. Same thing at the 7th fret on the first two strings. And the last one will be over the 5th fret of the 3rd string. So slowly. Nice little bell sounds there. You have to rehearse this ahead of time because when you come to that part, you don't really have time to think, how do I play that? You just, oh, play that cool part that I know. Very cool. So in its entirety, it'll be... Ending with that E, just the 2nd fret of the 4th and the 5th strings, everything else is open. And then just go back up to the... Really fun riff to play. It's not that difficult. The harmonics a little bit tricky, but I think you guys can get them. It's a good introduction to harmonics here. I did cover the first solo riff on this, and it is definitely not an easy part. I'm going to cover it here for all you guys who might want to try to approach playing it. A little bit harder to play, so if you want to skip it, that's fine. I just kind of threw it in because it's really cool. So that's up next. All right, that's a handful to play, but it's based on chords, which makes it feel a little bit weird. What we're going to do is we're going to start on the 7th fret with our index finger. We're going to do a long slide up to the 14th fret of the 4th string, but also we're going to be holding down the 3rd string and the 2nd string all at this 14th fret. So we slide up, and once we're up there, we're just going to go play all the 14s, 4th string, 3rd, 2nd. Once we do that, we're going to do the 15th fret, and then the 17th fret on the 2nd string, back to the 15th fret on the 2nd string, and then again 15, pulling off to the 14th fret, and then 14 on the 3rd string, 14 on the 4th string, and then again 14, 14, 14. So we're basically playing through an A chord there. And slide off. Now we're going to go to the 5th fret of the 4th string, sliding up to the 12th fret. I played the exact same arrangement of notes, just 2 frets lower. Make sure you're looking at your tab sheet on this. So again, the first one, outro on this. We're going to do a muted sound on the 2nd string, and then 2 12s, 13, 15, 13. And then we're going to play what's called dyads, 14 and 15 on the first 2 strings, 15 and 16, and then just 2 15s. And slide off of it. So again, slowly. Then it goes. Very cool riff. Again, I threw it in there because it's cool, not because it's easy. It's kind of hard. But if you want to do it, go for it. Make sure you slowed it down. Looping functions, I think you can get through it. I'm Trent. Comments in the section below. I hope you like this Eddie Van Halen lesson. We're all missing Eddie, and this stuff is fantastic, so let's keep playing it. I'm Trent. See you next time.